Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned, because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Wow, everybody, welcome, welcome. I want to welcome you to the Dr. Pat Show. I got a very special show for you today. On the heels of launching our new channels, especially the Wellness and Wellbeing channel, there's been so much that we've been doing over the past months to bring you the best of the best in the world. And that is today's show, to introduce you to Dr. Kris Sargent. If you don't know who Dr. Kris Sargent is, you're going to know a bit about Dr. Kris, but as time goes on, you're going to hear her own show, you're going to hear what things are going on, and bringing a fresh perspective. She and I have several things in common, but for the longest part, we've been on opposite ends. I've been the person that had to heal. She was the person that was healing people. And so today, lifelong learner, lover of God, servant of people, and this is the kind of thing that is coming to the forefront. It's not a unidimensional world. And so we have to have, as individuals, we have to tap in to that absolutely human potential matrix that makes us up, all parts of us. And that's what Dr. Kris has done. Published her first book. I love it. And everybody needs this book, Simply Functional Medicine. And then, of course, the next one is Cultivating a Mind, Soul, Body for God. And that's almost done, if not done already. But what's the point? The point is we cannot solve the problems at the level it's been created. I didn't say it. Einstein said it. That's Dr. Kris. That's you popping out of the gate. And isn't that true for you? Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Pat. I am beyond excited to be here with you today. I feel like it's been a journey to get here today.
Yes.
Just this year even has been a journey, and I know that I am in the right place at the right time now.
Totally.
Yeah.
I felt really nostalgic today, and I had this jacket in my closet. Okay, so it has to go back to 1990 or 89 or something.
Love it.
And I just thought, and I walked into Linda and I said, take a look at this. I mean, am I like looking like Value Village? And of course, I do have some Value Village things, but I said, I just feel like wearing this. It's one of the few things I have from that era left, but there's a reason for it, because what we're talking about today is an evolution. We're talking about having an understanding about renewed health, truth or dare. And I don't know how many people have been in positions like you, positions like me, where you hear a diagnosis and they don't know what it is, but your body is in full-blown pain. You try all the things that you thought that people said until the angel lady says to you one day, you really need to get your T3 checked. And you start to Google people. In 2004, you're Googling T3. I didn't want to admit, I didn't even know what that meant. And you find two doctors. One of them in Bellevue. The other one, I can't remember. But my journey began with Dr. Darvish on a platform, and it took truth and it took the courage of dare, because here is the world that I had never heard of. But you know what the result was, Dr. Kris? And I really want you to talk to this. The result of this was I'm here today. So given who you are and given what you've done, I want to know, what are the challenges? What are the obstacles that you had to overcome to be that person that helps people like me?
Ooh. Well, I think the best answer to that question is I had to be you. Honestly, I had to be you. I had to go through my own health journey to get to chiropractic school, to to get into functional medicine while I was still in chiropractic school back in 1990, before it was even a thing. We barely even called it functional medicine. We didn't always really know what to call it, but that's what we called it. And so my own health journey is what led me to that versus going to medical school, because I could have gone to medical school, but I just couldn't see not digging into the root cause and not getting to the bottom of what's really wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy to stick a band-aid on things these days and let it go because you can function, but we're not here to function. We're not here to just function, right? We're not here to just like barely making it, right? We're here to thrive and be vital and like make a difference for God and make a difference in other people's lives and in our own life, right? Like just be able to hit the ground running every single day with everything. So honestly, I think that that's a big chunk
Yeah.
of why I'm sitting in this place right here with you.
Yeah. And so let's talk about something, because I went to see my local practitioner who you have to go to the office for a couple of these treatments.
Sure.
And so I went to see her, got hooked up to some wires and things like that. And I just was sitting there thinking about our conversation, and I thought, I wonder how many things Dr. Kris has seen in 33 years where she saw, this is how I'm coming out in the world. Oh, but wait a minute. What's that protocol? What's this healing? You see, because when we talk about functional medicine, it's not good, it's not bad, it's not this, it's not that, it's everything, isn't it? So in
It is
33
everything.
years, did you have those pivotal moments where you're like, what is that? Oh, and I think I'll use that.
There were several pivotal moments, I feel like, that I just realized that the state of medicine in this country, and I think I need to do just a tiny rabbit trail before I go on.
I love that.
I have zero animosity to the traditional medicine or whatever you want to call our country's
Yeah,
MDs, DOs. I have nothing against what they do because they save lives every day. They put people back together that I could never put back together. They do things that I can't dream of doing. And they do it really, I think most of them really are doing the best job they can, and I did hold a lot of animosity for a long time, but I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like I
yeah,
could come alongside every single one of them and help their patients get healthier and get better and heal faster if they would do this, and this. So, to say that, let's come back. Like, I just see so much brokenness and people not really, particularly women, not really being listened to by their doctors and just being, here's some pills, good luck with that. It's just mental, it's just depression, or, well, you have 5 kids, of course you're tired. It's always something about the patient is wrong instead of like, hey, well, I wonder if you're eating enough. I wonder if you're not eating enough. I wonder if you're eating too much or maybe not the right thing to give your body the energy that it needs to get through your day. I wonder if you have a thyroid issue that's bigger than what thyroid stimulating hormone or TSH is going to tell you, because there's way more than that, as you well know. Um, I just wonder, what else can we do? And that's really where I come from, is
yeah,
what's the bottom line here? And not just physiologically, but emotionally, right? When we start talking about food, boy, do those walls go up, right? I mean, tell somebody they have to go off gluten for 3 months and they're like, what does that even mean?
it's so
So
funny. It's the G word now.
I know, right? Yeah, it's a 4-letter word that isn't 4 letters, but I just think that it's emotional, it's spiritual, right? For me, particularly, it's about body stewardship. And you're like, well, that's a weird word. That sounds like some weird biblical word. But really, what it means is taking care of something that isn't yours. And we all think it's our body, blah, blah, blah. But in my mind, no, not so much. God gave us this body. We're
Yeah.
made be like him. And it's really his. It's on loan for us for a little while. And then, we get a new one. So that's, again, that's where I come from. And so I think, wow, how much more can I help people take care of themselves so that they can go out and do what God meant
Yeah.
for them to do? And that's, so it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's physical, it's the whole shebang.
Yeah. I remember talking to Dr. Overman, my autoimmune doctor. What a great, I mean, how do I want to describe him? Really tough love guy, but he was
Yeah.
open to other protocols. And I remember saying to him, I said, look, God created all these things to help people heal,
Yeah.
not just what you and I are doing. Would you be open to see what God sent over there to the functional doctor, medicine doctor, and see if you two can put your heads together? And boy, it took me a while to do that, but he did. And we came up with a protocol that had never been used before with methotrexate
Hmm.
and a protocol that a number of naturopaths use to drop your blood sugar level so low and then give you the IV. I mean, it was groundbreaking in so many ways. But I
I
had
love
to
that.
say, God created everything.
Yeah,
God gave us the
I believe that.
Amazon forest. But let's talk about the message you're bringing and what this means, especially for women, because you had your own health journey. You're seeing what's going on with women right now. And I got to tell you, if you don't think women are depressed or struggling, my friend who gave me the real number said it's reported that about 300,000 women left the workplace since January. He's telling me it's over 500,000. And so I
Wow.
said to him, well, how many men have left? He said the same number of men is about 50,000. And I asked myself, I don't know why. I don't know why. But I do know something. Something had to get under. It was like a burr that somebody put under their saddle to make that decision. What do you see happening? What do you see
Ooh.
happening that you learned from your own journey, right? And how
Right.
you became vital and
Yeah.
vitalistic in yourself.
Yeah. So, I mean, have struggled with my weight pretty much my whole life. And
Me
I
too.
didn't I didn't really know when I was, our parents just do the best we can, and I love my parents and they did a great job as far as I'm concerned. Look at me now. Anyway, um and my mom was about 4'9" and 90 pounds, and my sister was 5'5.5" or so, and like 115 pounds. And I was not either of those sizes. And so I was a little bit bigger. And but realized that as you look, hindsight's 2020. And so when I look back, I'm like, dang, I wish I was 5'4" and 120 pounds and thought I was fat. Like, what's the matter with me? Nothing was really wrong with my size, but I thought there was. So again, this is the headspace stuff. So I had to work on headspace around that. I had to work on my headspace around body image and my headspace around food. I also had horrible PMS. Horrible. Well, like two different people during the month, like one I liked and one nobody liked. And so like walking into functional medicine, that was the first thing that I wanted to deal with was my weight and my PMS. And within about 3 months I had no PMS. And I also had cut out a few things and I had no weight issue either. And
Wow.
so like there's so much that can happen when someone takes just a little bit. It takes just a little bit of courage to do something different than, oh, your gynecologist says just go on the pill, your periods will be fine, or whatever those it'll be fine solutions are. But if you can just take a little bit of work
Yeah.
and a little bit of time, like that's kind of so that's kind of where I came from. But then I looked at the world, and I've been in practice for 33 years. And when I got into practice, there was like on the there was like no obesity, right? This was
Oh,
1992.
there was
Like we had
not.
one tiny little, maybe 10% or less. Like it was like a blip on the radar. Didn't even count. We didn't talk about it. It was not a thing. And y'all, I am not here to judge. I am here to love. And so what I'm about to say may sound icky, but that is not, it's just facts, right? These are just facts. You can look them up, whatever. But 30, over 30%, closer to 35% of the American population is obese, and another 30% is overweight. And so we're looking at close to 70% of Americans are really struggling with their health
Yeah.
because you can be healthy and heavy. I'm not saying you can't, but 20 years from now, that may or may not be true. And that's what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah.
I want to treat the person in front of me, but I'm not just treating you for today. I'm treating you for your grandkids.
Yeah. And
I'm
you know
treating you for
what?
your children.
Exactly. My sister died on a hospital floor in 1992, I believe it was, at about 400, if not 500 pounds, because they
Mhm.
could not roll her over to give her oxygen. And I watched her entire life. And it really led
That
me
breaks
to
my
study
heart.
psychology because, there were so many things underneath that. But let me give you a real situation because let's talk about God and mind for a minute and how to
Sure.
combine health and faith. I was told and by good caring people that I better do something, and I'm like, okay, like give me a
What?
hint. What? Like what the? Give me a hint. And they were like, yeah, didn't you take gabapentin for 2 years because they forgot to take you off it after your surgery? I said, yes, I did. And they said, are you reading about gabapentin? And I said, yes, I am. And what are you going to do about it? And I said, I gave it to God. I said, I gave it to
Mm,
God. I can't go back and reverse whatever y'all are saying about whatever
that's
you're
it.
saying. But what I can do is I gave it to God, I asked for wisdom, and I asked to guide me in a direction so that any of that noise that's coming through the channel doesn't affect me. Let's talk about health and faith because I can't do one without the other anymore.
I don't think you can. And that's I mean, I started speaking about health and faith before my daughter was born. That was 22 years ago. And when I had my kids, I went through some horrible postpartum, and that's another part of my story that maybe I'll get to talk about on another show. But I realized that this faith piece and allowing somebody who made you direct you seems like such a simple concept, and yet we cling so tightly to our own control and our own vision for what we think we're supposed to be that we end up wearing this mask of, well, this is how it's supposed to be. And then you're like somebody different on the inside and you put this face on. I know I spent a lot of years like that.
Yeah,
And when I got real and God got real with me, which let me tell you, that is a stripping process. That is a shake it down, shake it off. You got nothing left. Nothing. I mean, for me, it was finances, it was my kids, it was even my car at one point. It was where am I getting money for groceries? I mean, he stripped so much out of
yeah,
me and blessed me at the same time. And so I just don't know how to do life or my
yeah.
health without that kind of guidance and direction from the Holy Spirit and God.
I know Holy Spirit's my buddy.
Oh,
Actually, I made a
my
statement on the
favorite.
show. I made a statement on the show the other day, and I got an email from somebody. I view God in a multidimensional way because my experience of God came to me in different forms and philosophies. The Hare
Mhm.
Krishna people saved me at 17 in Manhattan and gave me clothes and something. Clothes got me off the street, gave me food, clothes, actually got me in a position where I could get to a phone to call Bell Labs to see if they still offered me a job. But it's interesting. I made this statement the other day about the Holy Spirit, and somebody sent me this flaming email, and it was something
Yeah,
like,
I expect it.
the Holy Spirit comes to me in my life in different ways. Right now, it's in the four ravens that come every morning and pouch themselves.
There you
And I got this like, ravens are magic. And I emailed the person
go.
back and I said, I just want to tell you from me, God is magic.
Mm,
God is miraculous. I would
that's
not be
true.
here. without a spiritual background. And I want to just bring this full circle. I don't know of any person with my level of sobriety that has done it without the God step. It was
I
hard for
don't think
me,
it's
Dr.
possible.
Kris. It was hard. I was hating for a long time in my life, and then I wasn't anymore. So I want to ask you, as you move forward, personal challenges, things happening in your life, what can we say about that stewardship and how to keep making sure we bring it into our practices?
That's a
Because this
really
is
good
important.
question.
And it's a question that probably we're going to talk about in the next show we do. But it's important because even in the launch and our expansion, there's always temptation not to follow the
Yeah.
God yellow brick road. But how about you?
Yeah, I think oh, let's see. I think that really the best way to stay in that space is to slow down, which is a really hard thing to say, particularly being I'm a 3 Enneagram, I'm an achiever, I'm a go girl. And but really I also I've been forced to slow down. Part of that stripping was me slowing down so that I could listen, because if we don't, the Holy Spirit can be around you, he can be in you, like I believe, and he can be trying to talk to you. But if you are blabbing all the time, or you're so distracted on your phone, or you're shopping, or your work, or your kids, or all these other things that are out there, and you don't take that time to slow down and listen, God gave us 2 ears and one mouth for a reason. Also, having someone in your life that can speak into it. So I do a lot of coaching, that's a big chunk of my practice, right? But for me to have also that same coach or therapist or somebody in my life that can speak into me, like, and tell me, like, you know, you might want to, whatever that XYZ thing is, you might want to think about looking at this from a different perspective, or be
Mhm,
someone who's able to give you that 50,000-foot view of your
mhm.
life, because sometimes we get so mired in it. So those are the two things that I say. And then find yourself a routine. And I help a lot of people figure
Yeah.
out where's their routine, like where did their routine go sideways?
Yeah. You know what I love about this, and you and I are going to continue to talk, but I want to pause for a minute. Make sure you let people know, how do they find you? How do they work with you? How do they get tapped into some of the things we're talking about today?
Oh, sure. Well, I do have a website. It's drkrissargent.com, www.drkrissargent.com. I am at Dr. Kris Sargent, and you can see my name on the screen probably, so you know it's with a K. And all over social. So Facebook, Instagram, anyway. That's the easiest way to find me, really.
Yeah, and this is a beginning conversation. Of course, you're going to be doing your show and so forth and so on. But this is a time for this now. I mean, I think there are stories every day. I had COVID recently and they wouldn't give me
I know.
ivermectin. And
It's
they looked at
ridiculous.
they looked at me like, ivermectin. We're not. I said, well, I don't understand. I don't want that other thing you're going to give me because I know it works, and I couldn't get it. And so, you make these decisions. You have to make a decision. This is part of the conversation that we're having when we're talking about truth and dare. We're
It
talking
is.
about how we choose. Just like I am not going to take in all the gab and pent and chit chat that people want to give me.
No,
I
don't.
don't. Why? Because I play a sport that all the science now
Mm.
points to reduces dementia, if not gets rid of it. And it's fascinating. And here's my last question. All of the things we've talked about lead to who you are, Dr. Kris. So I want to end the show with this. I would love for you to share the audience what your personal message is. What do you want to leave us with today?
Oh, I want to say so many things.
We have
But
2 minutes.
honestly, well, honestly, the deep drive for me every day is the personal connection to all my clients and my new clients and all those things. Yes, but the bigger 50,000-foot view of this country that I have loved my entire life. I grew up in kind of a military family, and that is what we do. We love this country. People want to come to this country still, left and right, even though whatever side you are on does not matter. We still live in the best country, in the most free country on this little planet of ours. And so people are clamoring to get here, and the health of this country just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart. It just could be even greater. Think about the squabbles that maybe we won't have when people are walking around with normal blood sugar. Think about the squabbles that we won't have when people's thyroids are working and they get a good night's sleep, right? And they're drinking enough water every day, and they're not
Yeah.
overcarbing themselves, and they're getting enough protein. Like, how would that change your body? I know it's changed yours, Dr. Pat, but how would it change your body, to all of the listeners, right? Like, how might that be? And what might that do for you? And so I'm going to leave it back to your audience. Like, hey, what's important to you? Because
Yeah.
that's going to become important to me as we work together.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I'm going to end with something a little funny, because what you just said is an invitation to the audience and the world. And believe me, for all of you out there, let me tell you this. This is an invitation from Dr. Kris Sargent, who you just got to know a little bit. But that invitation is grounded in years of hard work, innovations, faith, commitment, and absolutely fundamentally calling herself and stepping out in the world to be an educator, teacher, and healer. And that comes with solutions. That's what Dr. Kris does. But for me, the bottom line is, yeah, PMS, everybody knew when I played in championships, because I beat the heck out of everybody in front of me. That's the one upside that I can remember about
It's
that.
true. Like, where am I at? How
Get out of
angry am
my
I going to
way.
be?
Get out of my way. Thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
next time.